On today's episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, we will have an interview with Apex TikToker Tony Romero. We're also going to have a discussion about the teasing of Skulltown coming back and what we hope for that. Then we're also going to have gambling and finish off the show. Don't forget to leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. And let's get into the fucking show. Wyatt here, Apex Business. We have a special guest today talking about a brand new coin, Banner Coin. It's all over the place. We are here with a Banner Coin correspondent, somebody watching it closely. Kyle, how do you feel about this coin, and should buyers be aware of this coin, or is it something that you want to get yourself into?
No, listen, you shouldn't be aware at all. Listen, I sold everything I own, my house, my assets, my car, everything, and invested into Banner Coin because I know it's going to the moon.
Now, I have a question for you. You left out the fact that you also sold your children. You sold your children to get some more Banner Coin, and I just have to wonder, this has got to be something good if you're willing to sell your own flesh and blood.
Yes, it might be the best sale I ever made, honestly.
And you don't miss them at all.
I mean, I do, but, you know, when I look at the amount of Banner Coin that I have, it just puts a smile on my face every time.
Seeing that green arrow always makes me feel better as well. Now, Kyle, a lot of people are talking about this just being a simple pump and dump scheme. Is that what people are going to be doing with this? Is it a scam?
I don't think it's a pump and dump. I think, honestly, you just pump as much as you can into it, and you just keep pumping until one day it just pumps up the whole thing, you know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean, pumping your mom last night. We have fun here on this show. Kyle, thank you for coming on here and talking a little bit about Banner Coin. Thank you, Kyle. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode number 41. And we got a little treat today, boys. It's been a while since we've gotten new content. We've been starved a little bit, but today's video with Pathfinder made up for fucking all of it. We are back in business, ready to go. And we haven't done a deep dive on this video quite yet, but I'm sure some of this leads into Season 10. So we got to be excited about that.
Gotta
be. Huge.
It's starting to build. We always know it from what SW always told us. Come mid-season split, we start to see the things for the next season start to leak out and start to
maybe it's
pregame
Ash
for us. And I'm thinking,
dude, please give me Ash.
It's got to be Ash next.
I can't let myself do this again. I have to wait until I get some sort of confirmation.
Bro, this is your confirmation. It's Ash next.
Is Bryce Stradamus saying it's Ash? Because if that's the case, I might have to buy in again.
It's Ash.
But my heart is going to break even more when it's not.
It's Ash.
All right, well, let's get off that and talk about the fact that Pathfinder needs to go find his son. We need to help him find his son. He's got a son out there.
He's got a son out there.
There's a baby Pathfinder somewhere in the world that we need to get. And let me tell you something. If Pathfinder's son somehow makes it into the game, that would be fucking awesome, dude.
Bro, I have a theory about that too. It's Ash.
You think that the son is Ash? Is Ash?
The simulacrum.
The spare parts.
Spare parts became Ash after they killed her, and she now has part of the old Pathfinder in Ash. She goes, you should have had more of me in you, and I'm thinking she means like coding personality-wise. And then it flips into she gets rebuilt and turns into the simulacrum from Pathfinder's original parts.
That would be an interesting theory. That would be really crazy.
Now Pathfinder has to go find the same person that killed his old family.
The relationship there, there's some contention.
Exactly.
There's some heavy contention in that. Well, that video was awesome. The animation style was awesome. I saw some tweets that I guess the artist, it took her over 6 months to make it because of the different animation style, and like a huge congratulations to that person. I don't know if it's a she. I saw a she tweeting about it, but the coolest part about this was the person who made this was not working for Respawn before this. They were just a fan who had made a fan-made Apex video, and now they're making that, which I gotta say is like a top 3 video ever in this game.
Yeah, it's my favorite animation I've ever seen in any of their shorts. Pathfinder's just such a likable character.
It's so hard to hate him.
It's absolutely.
I fucking love Pathfinder.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. And like I was just dying to know his purpose. And the fact that it was like something so important and that he actually like did have a family and stuff, like, oh man, that gave me all the good feels. Even if they're gone, he knew he was loved.
Well, that was an awesome video.
That just fits every job he's ever had. Is he ruins whatever place he goes into?
yeah. It just fits so well, but it fits in like a nice, endearing way.
Yeah,
where he kind of ruined even his own family, but it was for a good cause.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. We have an awesome show for you guys here today. Let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week, and this one is going to be fucking insane. Disclaimer: we're talking a little sexual here. We got some porn names that we're going to be talking about. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too over the top, but if you want to avoid that, feel free to skip ahead because we have an amazing interview that you need to take a listen to, and we also have the Skulltown discussion. But I just wanted to throw that out there before we get into it. Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget to head on down to repsports.com. Use code BANNER for 15% off all Raise Energy products. Boys, we've got some porn names here. Now, the way this game is going to work, we gave every single person at this table, gave every single legend in the game a porn name, and we're going to come out and see which one of us at the table has the best name for each character. So, boys, let's start with the bees.
Strap in, strap on.
Strap the fuck in.
Strap in. Strap on, strap in.
Get ready.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
You're going to hear some bangers. You're going to hear some weak sauce.
You're
but
gonna
you're going to
hear
hear
some
some
weak
bangers, too.
I'm going to tell you guys right now I have some awful ones.
I do,
but
too.
I also have some good ones.
I got some good ones. I got some bad ones.
Mine are pretty fucking bad.
All right, here we go. We'll start off in alphabetical order. Bangalore. I have Lindsay Tacksmoke.
I just have Bethany Blue.
I have Anita Needs.
Private pee-pee pounder.
Okay.
All in favor of Troy.
All in favor of Troy.
I was going to say Brian's, but that one's still
No, I
good.
think
All right, Troy wins.
I got Troy's.
So it's Private PP Pounder. Okay. Moving on to Bloodhound. Now, Bloodhound, we don't want to offend anybody out there, but this one's a little tough. We didn't know what to do, so we tried our best. Okay. Mine, Bobby Billy.
Ray Tyler.
All Father's blessing.
Okay.
Ambiguous Alex.
What the fuck, Troy?
It's got to be ambiguous.
It's got to be Troy. It's got to be Troy.
Gosh damn it. Okay, there we go. All right. Then we move on to Caustic. I have Dr. Fucks.
I got Dr. Bofa.
Dr. Bofa. Bofa these nuts. I
Bofa
like
these
that.
nuts.
Troy?
Gassy Gary.
Gassy Gary.
Brian?
That's all that's all I got, man.
I got Alex Knox.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
No. Fuck that. Alex Cox.
Alex Cox.
Alex
Okay.
Cox.
Okay. What do we think?
What was yours again, Bam?
Dr. Fucks.
Just so blunt.
I can't give it to that one.
Yeah.
Kyle, what
The
was yours?
stupid thing
It's
was
Dr. Bofa.
Dr. Bofa might be the one.
I think we might.
I'm putting my vote for that.
all right. We'll go.
I'll
Dr.
go that. I'll
Bofa.
go Dr. Bofa.
Kyle, every time you get one, circle it. So Troy, circle yours that you got. Okay. We go to Crypto. I have Johnny Dongle.
I have Long Koi.
Troy.
Long Coy. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, all right, that fucks mine up. I just got Digital Dan.
Digital Dan.
I like that. I got June Sloppy.
June
Ooh,
Sloppy.
That's good too.
I kind of like June Sloppy.
I don't know, Digital
Long
Dan.
Coy, bro.
You like Digital Dan?
Bro, it seems nerdy like Crypto would be.
June Sloppy fucks out loud.
Long Koi, like the koi fish, dude.
Yeah, like the koi
Dude,
fish.
I'm voting Long Koi.
Okay, so we have a stalemate here. So
Well,
what do we do?
Kyle's gonna be the deciding vote
decider.
then. Yeah,
Okay.
because we're going all the way around.
I like Long Koi, but I can't. Can I vote?
Yeah,
for
you
myself?
can
go
vote
ahead,
for
vote for
yourself.
yourself.
All right,
Circle it,
Long
circle
Koi
it.
it is.
Long Koi. All right, Fuse. I've got Danny Dingo.
It's so good. It's got such a good ring to it.
I got Outback Ozzy.
Nice.
Outback. All right, that's good. Steve Irwin vibe.
Okay.
Yep.
I got Johnny Cannonballs.
Yeah. All right. I got Explosive Ernie,
Nice.
but dude,
Johnny
Cannonballs.
Johnny Cannonballs.
Johnny
Circle it, Kyle.
Cannonballs.
Circle it, Kyle. Okay, Gibraltar. I got Benny Blowdeep.
OG Club Bone.
Stop, you fuck. You fucking bitch. Okay. Brian.
I got Dancing Brother Bear.
Dancing Brother Bear.
Oh, Brother Bear.
Troy.
Brother Benny.
Brother Benny.
But I think we all know.
OG Club Bone, baby.
OG Club Bone. All right. Horizon. I've got Cindy Moans.
Daphne Double P.
Daphne Double P. Okay. Kyle was meant for this.
Yeah.
By the way.
You're built for it.
Kyle was meant for this.
I got Deep Denise.
Deep Denise.
Mine's easy. I got Horizon.
Horizon.
Ooh.
I actually like Horizon.
I like Deep Denise.
What was yours again, Kyle?
Daphne Double P.
Wait, what did I say I liked? Brian's?
Yeah.
What was yours, Brian?
Mine was Horizon.
I like Horizon. Yeah, I like Horizon.
You like Horizon?
I have to vote for myself. I like Deep Denise. We're at 2 and 2.
So 2 and 2. Okay, so should we
But-
flip a coin?
I actually haven't voted.
I think.
Oh, you
yeah,
haven't
Brian
voted?
hasn't voted.
I haven't voted. I like Deep Denise.
Let's go,
Okay.
baby.
Denise is.
All right, Loba. There were so many options here that I just ran out, and I put Jessica Dumper.
Jessica Dumper's gold. I just put Loba Star and Loba Kardashian. Those
Okay.
are
Troy.
Bouncing Betty.
Okay. Brian.
lit.
I couldn't think of, so this is weird. I couldn't think of an actual name for her.
Yeah.
So instead, I thought of the channel that she would be on, and it's called Takes and Cakes.
Takes and Cakes. Okay.
Texan Cakes. I like that.
All right. So which one we got here?
What was yours?
Jessica Dumper.
I
That's
love
good.
Jessica,
Jessica
Dumper.
Dumper.
Let's go Jessica,
Dumper.
Okay.
There is a shitter on that critter.
There's a TikTok.
It's a fucking TikTok.
Okay. Then we go to Mirage, and this is by far my worst one. I don't know what I was thinking. I put Ron Copter.
Willie Whacker.
Troy.
Vanishing Val.
Okay. Brian.
I got Mirage VR.
Mirage VR.
Like he only does VR
Yeah,
shit.
like
yeah.
porno stuff.
Yeah.
I like Brian's. You guys like Brian's?
So, I'm voting for Willie Whacker.
I'm
Dog.
Willy Whacker.
Oh, dude, Willie Whacker's on
Okay,
my
Willie
Whacker.
Vote Willie Whacker, dude.
Who had Willy Whacker?
I
That was
made Willie
Kyle.
Whacker.
Kyle, dude,
Fucking
Kyle
Kyle.
might take the cake.
Okay. Then we
He's
move
got a
on.
significant lead on us.
We've got Octane. I put Reggie Coke and Blow.
That's cool. I put Johnny Stims.
Oh God, that's so good. This is gonna be a hard one. Mine was dog shit. I got Quick Quinn.
Okay.
Quick
Brian.
plan. I had Octavio Stims.
Octavio
Okay.
Stims. Okay.
I kind of like Wyatt.
I love mine.
I
This
love-
was the only one I wanted
love
to win.
Wyatt.
Reggie
What is
Reggie
yours?
Coke and Blow.
Reggie Coke and
Reggie Coke and Blow. Yeah, that's a winner, bro.
I like that.
Reggie
Yeah,
Coke.
I like that
Okay.
one the best.
All right. So then we got Pathfinder. I got Stevie Spin Cycle.
That's good. God, that's fucking good.
I have Vibrating Vince.
Oh
Vibrating
my
Vince.
God.
Nice. Troy.
Piston Paul.
Nice.
I got Sibian 6000.
Oh
Sibian
yeah.
6,000.
If you don't know what that is, good for you. Good for you.
Damn, Brian. What do you guys think?
Well,
I
Kyle-
think if you had said Sammy Sibian,
Sammy Sibian. I didn't think
because
about
it was a name. If it was a name,
I was thinking he's more.
because Sibian 6000 is like an appliance. You know what
Bro,
I mean?
that's what I think of
Yeah.
Pathfinder as is literally
It's
just
just
a
an
tool.
appliance.
Just lay him on the ground and he does his job.
After that heartfelt video, I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
Damn it! That
I know.
fucking video.
That- you were so close. So
yeah,
You wanna
that's
go?
fair.
Yeah.
So what was Kyle's again?
Mine was Vibrating Vince.
And
Okay,
Kyle-
what do we-
Troy, what was yours?
Stevie, Piston Paul,
So
Stevie
What
Spin
was
Cycle,
yours?
right?
Stevie Spin
Yeah, I
Cycle.
gotta
I like
go.
Stevie
I gotta go
Spin
with
Cycle.
that. You were
Stevie.
so close, Brian. That struck a chord with me.
Okay, so for Rampart, I put Sheila Penetration.
Sally
That's good.
Swallows.
Sally Swallows.
I almost said the Great Divide.
Are you talking about her teeth?
That's hilarious.
Maybe I was Brian. Listen, I also it's coming from someone that does have gap teeth. So no, but I didn't go with that. I went with Greasy Gwendolyn.
Greasy Gwendolyn.
I made it easy and said ram hard.
What do you guys think?
Go through yours and Kyle's again.
Sheila Penetration.
That's
Sally Swallows.
Sally.
fuck Sheila Penetration. I think.
I like mine.
I like Sheila Penetration.
Okay,
too.
we want to do that one? Okay, there we go. All right, then we go on to I skipped Lifeline. Lifeline, I put Chi-Chi Defibrillator. All right,
But
How do you
I
spell?
put-
Hold on. How did you spell Chi Chi?
Chee.
Okay.
Chi-Chi.
I put Lily Lickum Dry.
Lily Lickum Dry.
Kyle.
All right, dude,
Okay.
you win. There's no
Yeah,
way.
I
There's
don't
no
know.
way you
I don't know if we
Oh
beat
my
that.
God.
There's no way you don't fucking win that. I got Rescue Rita.
Okay, and Brian.
I had Nurse Che.
Nurse J. Brian. Scott.
Lily,
Fucking Kyle.
Lily
It's Kyle.
Lickum
Dry?
Dry,
Lily
baby.
Lickum Dry.
Lily
Kyle.
Holy
Lickum
shit.
Dry.
That is an all-star name.
That's the way it goes. We go on to Revenant, and I put Grim Deeper.
Oh my god,
I'm out. I'm out.
So good, dude.
I put Ricochet Robbie. That's all
Ricochet
I got.
Robbie.
Ricochet Robbie. Danger Duke Clark.
Danger Duke Clark.
I had Caleb Crosscox.
Caleb Crosscox.
Yeah, gay porn star? What?
Fuck yeah, he is.
All right, what do we got?
Wyatt, yours
What
is
is
so
yours?
good.
Wait, what was
Grim
yours?
Deeper.
It's
Grim
the-
Yes.
That is
Grim
literally
Deeper.
so good.
That's
That is
Oh my
so.
God.
That is so good.
Okay,
I'm so mad.
My Watson one might be even worse. It's just Polly Sparkles.
Bridget Bendaho.
What the fuck is that, dude?
Bridget Bendaho.
Bridget Bendaho.
What in the fuck? I got Wet Windy.
Wet Wendy.
I had Miss Natalie.
Miss Natalie. Miss Natalie's not even that bad, actually.
No, I actually figured that would be an actual porn name from somebody.
Miss Natalie's not bad at all. I like Miss Natalie.
I'll go with Miss Natalie.
Yeah, I'll vote for that.
Okay,
I feel
Brian,
like I just
that
got
one?
the
You got the
little
personality of it.
little consolation there. You get one.
No, I like. Well, I liked that one. I did like that one.
No, you're
and then
good.
Wraith, I put Lana Rhodes.
I put Christy Chokes a lot.
What is this dude's problem? Okay, Troy.
I mean, I just put Wraith.
Okay.
I put Renee's Dismay.
Renee's dismay. Well, I mean, it's got
Kyle,
to be chokes a lot.
Freaking monster! You're
Fucking
so
Kyle.
good at this.
Okay.
Kyle, you got 7 of these.
Okay, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Kyle
Wyatt had 5.
7.
Troy had 4. I
I
had
had
1.
4.
Okay. All right, so Kyle
Holy
definitely
shit.
fucking wins.
Dominated this.
I
What
always-
were some names that stood out to you here, at whether it's yours or somebody else's? Which one stood out to you here? Because we went through that pretty quick.
My favorite one was fucking Fuse's Johnny Cannonballs, bro.
You can't beat that one. You
That's-
cannot
oh,
beat
yeah.
that one. I actually liked Miss Natalie. That one was good.
That is really good. Grim Deeper, hilarious. How have I
Grim
never?
Deeper is
Oh my God,
great.
that's
How
one of
have
the
I
best
never heard
ones.
that before? I don't know.
I loved my Reggie Coke and Blow.
That's
Yeah,
really good.
Reggie
I was like,
Coke.
if I don't win that one, I'm gonna be upset.
That is
Come on.
fantastic.
OG
and funny.
Club.
OG Club Bone, dude. Oh,
That right there. That's my
God.
gold star.
I think,
OG
yeah,
Club Bone.
I think
OG Club Bone.
that's my number one. Dude, Private Pee Pounder.
I forgot.
I have to say, dude,
Oh,
like
shit.
that would crack. I was like, I got to do a military thing, and I was like, oh, dude, it's meant to be.
Here's the real question here. Do we go from this to our interview, or do we kind of just we give him a chance with the Skulltown discussion first, then go into the interview? Because I want.
I think we do the interview second.
Here's the
'cause
thing. No, here's the thing though. Our interviewer's favorite thing that he does with his viewers is he'll have his own viewers stream snipe him as Loba. He'll knock them and then he'll clap the Loba on stream.
No shit.
Yes. So I mean, it kind of fits.
Oh, let's have him go next then.
I think
mean-
it fits. Well, that was our porn star names, boys and girls at home. If you guys got some good porn star names, send them our way. Obviously, we love to see any sort of fan interaction, especially with something like this.
Grim
I
Deeper.
forgot I had Jessica Dumper too.
That was
Jessica
that was
Dumper.
good.
was great.
OG Club Bone.
baby.
That's MVP. That has
Kyle.
to be MVP.
What the fuck?
Kyle,
Sorry,
all of
bro,
yours
you
were
see it.
fucking great.
Jenny
Oh,
chokes a lot.
Jenny-
You fucking skank. What is wrong with you? You got the
Oh,
frosted
man.
tips, and
Oh,
you just
man.
became a wild man.
I
What a
just knew.
perfect episode to bring on Tony Romero, who is our interview. He's coming up next. But before we get into that interview, don't forget to head on down to repsports.com where you can use code BANNER for 15% off all Raise Energy products. We had 2 new listeners use the code, so they will be getting a card pretty soon from our man Troy across the table. They're
Can't
gonna
wait.
They're going to be getting some cards. It's going to be awesome. You could be a part of that as well. We just love our community, man. If you use code BANNER, it could be nothing at all. We will send you a card.
Ask one of the 3 people that have already gotten a card from me. All right? I care. I'm going to give you a little piece of my heart. But in order for it to be the best card possible, the more personal information that you send to Wyatt about yourself, about your situation, maybe what you're going through, whatever, or even just links to your social media, the more stuff that you give me to learn about you, the better your card's going to be.
Here's the thing. You want to use that code, though, to get some Raise energy because there's some good flavors out. They just dropped a strawberry banana. Very good, very tasty. It's only a limited time, so you're going to want to make sure you use code Banner and get that. Let's head down into the interview with Tony Romero, Apex Legends TikToker, and we will see you guys on the other side. What's up, everyone? I'm here with Apex content creator Tony Romero. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Man, it is so exciting to talk to you, dude, because I have basically been watching all of your stuff for the last few weeks, and I've been kind of like getting into it. And it is so funny how similar your content and Grab My Banner content is. And that's why it's the perfect marriage to talk to you, because we have so many things to get through. And number one being the cheek scale. Okay. Obviously, we have our own little version of where we think all the cheeks should be. But I'm genuinely curious, Tony. Where do you think the cheek scale should lie? Who's number one, and where does the list go from there?
Number one cheek scale, especially since we got new. Everyone thinks that because Valkyrie became a character that it's going to throw off the scale. No, I'm sorry, Loba even at the default still is the number one spot. Clearly. Like that's the standard. Nobody talked about cheeks and like made up cheek names until she showed up.
Nope.
So that's why.
So Loba number one. Now here's the interesting thing here. Us at the Grab My Banner podcast actually have Gibraltar number two. How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. Gibby definitely is the type of person that'll crush a watermelon. If you put that between his legs, he'll do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But hopefully number three is Caustic. Number three's got to be Caustic.
So what we did was interesting. There's one Pathfinder skin where he's just double cheeked up. Like he is on a Thursday afternoon. Like he is cheeked out of his mind. It's the Crimson Warrior, I think it's called.
Yep.
And he is just absolutely cheeked. And we put that one number three. Only because like I feel like it's unfair to just leave out a skin where he's just absolutely cheeked out of his skull. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. He had no business wearing that.
No, he surprised us all. But you mentioned Valk. Now we had her at number 5, I believe, but below Watson. How do you feel about that?
Oh wait, so she's ranked better than Watson, or she's a tier over? Worse. Oh no. Okay, I agree with that. I was going to say that's where I have her also.
Okay, and so that means you have Wraith a little further down there.
No, okay, so I think Wraith is a little bit. If you put her in the season 1, Apex, I think it was the Apex Predator like season, the season 1 or season 0. She had some booty short skins. So if we're talking skins and allowing that's a unique skin. Not a lot of people have that. She's in booty shorts. And I think she's even above Watson on that one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's controversial. I can't wait to put this show because people are going to get upset about that. That's going to be awesome.
Me. It's okay. They can fight me.
Fight him for it. Well, anyway, there's another thing. Speaking of cheeks, there's one thing that stood out to me when I was going through all your content, Tony, and it made me laugh my fucking ass off. And it was that your followers, your supporters, anybody that watches your stream on Twitch goes into your games. They try to stream snipe you, but they don't try to kill you. They try to be killed by you as Loba so you can clap the cheeks. How did that even start? Like, just explain how does that even come about?
Yeah. So actually the whole stream sniper thing happened when people we couldn't figure out a way to do role playing with each other on Apex, and firing range wasn't good enough. So we wanted to do something. The role playing started off with this is even before I went on a high horse with Loba. I had a vendetta against Crypto for a minute. And there was this whole battle of like, who's the best recon, Crypto or Bloodhound? I'm a Bloodhound main, and one of my good friends, Burry, he's another creator on TikTok. He's a Crypto main. So like, this is where our communities actually grew the fastest, where we had this war where I was the Bloodhound following and he was the Crypto following. And we did a big stream snipe session the day before Arenas mode dropped. We were in Kings Canyon still, and we said we're going to meet at the map center where Crypto's drone is, where Crypto does the scans. And that's where the stream snipes happened, where we just had like a gang of Cryptos like cornered me. And, we acted it out. Like, it was like a scene out of training day where I was like, oh, you motherfuckers, ha ha ha. Like they thought they could do this to me. And yeah, they basically like all activated their ults and killed me, you know? So that was pretty funny. So then what happened in another day, people were like, hey, can we stream snipe you? Sure. I let him do it. And then it was a Loba that was teabagging really fast. And I was like, okay, this person obviously doesn't want to hurt me. On accident, in the middle of gunfire, I shot her in a middle, and she went down. And then I was like, man, I feel bad. I got to help her. And then chat starts spamming, do it, Tony, do it. I'm like, do what? And they said, you know what to do. And I was like, oh.
And then it began.
Yeah, it's like, I know what I have to do. I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Kind of deal. And that's where the birthing of clapping of cheeks pretty much happens. So now when people stream snipe me, they know what's up. Like that's what they come in
hilarious.
For. Yeah,
it's probably one of my favorite things I've found in Apex TikTok content creation, because like, you know, I feel like finding stuff like that is so fringe nowadays. Like it's tougher to find. It's more you either get news or you get like these are some tips on how to be better or whatever. And then you've got Grab My Banner. You've got Tony Romero being like, we're going to talk about asses and we're going to bang our stream snipers. Like you just get, it's just a completely different. It's a completely different environment. So I just love that about you guys. So you mentioned, you know, early on, growing a community and stuff like that when you guys first started doing the stream sniping thing. And I think you are just like a poster child for how to grow a community, man. Like you look at your TikTok, you've got over 100,000 followers, over 4 million likes, something like that. And then I noticed you have an MMA TikTok with the same amount of numbers, same ridiculous stats here. And I think so many kids nowadays are trying to start content creation, but I don't think they truly understand how tough of a job that it is, because you're constantly having to upload, constantly having to make things, and you've done it. And so I kind of wanted to ask, like, how did you get into this, and how like difficult has it been for you to continue the grind every single day and build those numbers up?
Dude, yeah, I've always wanted to share this story, and I made a few posts about it, but you know how TikTok is. They don't really do well. It kind of gets lost in the, you know, in all the other sheep posts doing the same thing. But like, I can say from the bottom of my heart, because you've seen it yourself, exactly as you said, you did your research. I believe I do have the blueprints on like how to be successful on TikTok. And one of the things that I did before the boxing and before the Apex TikTok page, people knew me for think of like the Loba simp stuff, but I did Overwatch stuff. I had another page that got shadow banned hard. My purpose of that page on purpose was to push the envelope of the community guidelines, because I know, you know, there are some posts that like, they're like, okay, mine got taken down for this, but that can stay up. So like that page that I started off with, page number 1 back in March 2020 during the pandemic, you know, I was like, I'm just going to see like what I can get away with, what works, what doesn't, just totally experiment. And then, you know, before you know it, like my page got to a point where it just wasn't growing anymore. It was dead. Wasn't getting FYP analytics anymore. And then like I went through like a really sad phase where I was like, I needed to start boxing and getting back with my coach, but I still wanted to get good at making content, right? And that's where the boxing and MMA page came to life, where I was like, I'm still going to keep at it, keep practicing the craft. There I understood how music trends work, how sound trends work, what people like, what, you know, like in a way, like I learned how to do how-to videos because of boxing, because on my boxing TikToks, you know, like I know what works for how-tos, but now I know that it won't work in Apex because I can recognize like who runs what kind of niche. And then now I'm competing against those types of people. So now here it comes full circle. Here I am in Apex. Do I really want to do a how-to video? Absolutely not. There's a lot of really good people that have really, you know, higher level quality productions of that. Do I really want to post clips of me trying to do Kraber shots? Absolutely not. I am not good. So what do I rely on? My humor. 100% my humor, my personality, my character, and all my trials and errors of like just getting to where I am now. I've learned to accept that I am not perfect, and that anybody who actually wants to come watch me, I'll appreciate them. I don't care if it's 5. I don't care if it's like it was today, 87 people on Twitch. I did not care. I ended up falling in love with who I was, and I didn't care what people like thought. And that includes the cheek clapping Loba part, you know, because some people obviously disagree with that.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail perfectly on the head. And that's exactly how we started to have, some of our success was literally we were like, we're not news. We can't post clips because none of us are good enough. But we have been friends forever. We love this game to death, and we just want to have fun. And I think what you said that stood out the most was you just loved yourself. All of us, we just do what we love ourselves. And I think for younger content creators, they're trying so hard to be their favorite content creator rather than who they really are. And that's where you run into the issues where you're not seeing the numbers, you're not seeing the results and stuff like that. So I think you hit that perfectly. And that's a great way to describe that. Would you have any other tips for somebody else trying to start out and trying to get into it? Not so much as being yourself, but maybe more the physical stuff, like how many times to post, what you should be posting or stuff like that. Do you have any tips on stuff like that?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm working with a group of people in my Discord. They're good friends of mine. It's like kind of like a trade. There's a guy that's helping me upload and edit my YouTube videos. I'm literally coaching him on how to grow on TikTok. One, you got to post 3 times a day. And something that you can probably do that's really easy is, one, you got to do a trend. I know it kind of goes against what I just said. Like, you got to love yourself. Well, you got to be comfortable with being consistent, and trends are pretty easy. Everybody does it on TikTok. You just have to get, and to me, like when people post trends, whether they flop or not, that's where you start, training yourself to kind of accept the results of your videos and know that you're only as good as your next post. Right. And then after that, I have people do like 2 originals. So it's like 1 trending to kind of like have you start having the eye of sounds or things that are going on TikTok. And then you do 2 originals, which would be like maybe highlights of your stream or a clip or a moment that is, quote, relatable. It has to be relatable. You want to start posting stuff on there that kind of like reaches the audience that you want, right? That's why I didn't want to post gaming clips or like sick triple kills, 1v3s, because that's not me. When you come in, that you are not going to get that. So that's why I avoid those clips. But every now and then I'll post one and people will laugh because they're like, wait, is this Tony? Is this really him?
Yeah.
But posting 3 times a day, it's the creating content, right? But then also like nurturing your communities, your Discord, your Instagram, responding to messages and stuff like that, Snapchat, wherever else you have a community, that's what's going on in the other 5 days.
You said something interesting and it kind of resonated with me a little bit. You said, sometimes you'll post videos that flop. Now, early on, when I was first making TikToks for Grab My Banner, when I saw a video flop, I would get so upset, especially if I like worked really hard on it. How do you deal with like that rejection? I guess it's, for me, it feels like rejection, but how do you feel when you see something flop that maybe you thought should have done a little bit better?
Okay, I deal with this still to this day, right? So like if you were to go to my page right now, I worked really hard on something I thought at that moment was hilarious. Again, the stream sniping scenario, I got stream sniped by 5 Lobas. That means 5 of my viewers, 15 people successfully got into my lobby. We had a gang of people, and it's on YouTube. It's a freaking sick clip. And I posted clips of it thinking that it was going to do well on TikTok because it's Loba, and like what I'm doing is like very like, I wouldn't say controversial, but it's like, wait, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? How did he get all these Lobas in the lobby? No, they're flopping right now, or at least to my expectations. The rejection feeling, what you said, that's totally what it feels like. You just felt like, wow, like what just happened? I put my heart and soul into this moment, into these clips. And honestly, exactly what I said, you have to, all these failures and like just consistency of like getting to where I am now, I have accepted that if it happens, it happens. You have to move on. You can't sit there and just like wallow in your sorrow and how the video performed. You're only as good as your next. You are only as good as your next video. Instead, what I do is I'll go to those analytics after the TikTok uploads them and ask and look at them and see what happened. Because obviously we know watch time is huge, right, on videos. And I would look at what the average watch time is and ask myself, okay, about 5 or 10 seconds before, that's probably where I started losing people. So if I post a 30-second video and people are watching 20 seconds, I started probably losing them at 10-second mark. What is going on up within those first 10 seconds? And I made up that rule, the whole 10-second rule, because I feel like people that might like me or know of me, give me the benefit of the doubt before they swipe.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a very deep way of looking at it.
it took a good year and a lot of, bad posts too to figure that out. But I want people, I think what they should understand is that when you post up a bad post, don't feel like it's a bad post. Just feel like it didn't get to the right audience. You keep going. Maybe they weren't on. Maybe that right audience wasn't on. There's also such thing as a delayed explosion, right? Like that video can go nuclear later on. But a lot of it also is the whole, you got to move on. You have to move on. You can't sit there and just kind of like, oh, maybe I'll repost it later. No, don't do that. You can, but don't worry about it right now. Worry about it later.
Yeah, I've actually seen the delayed explosion type of thing happen. So if you're a content creator out there, like pay attention to that. That does happen. It's very weird, but it does happen. I wanted to ask you your first video, at least Apex wise, that really popped off, and what was it about?
Oh, the first one that popped off was an Apex Legends Season 8 anthem. It was a spin off the number 1 Victory Royale. Yeah, Fortnite, it's about to get down. I made one for Apex. And that was my first ever Apex TikTok that pretty much not only did it was controversial, right? So it sparked conversation. You know how those work for videos. You like that, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a negative controversial. I mean, yeah, you got the Fortnite people that are saying, oh my God, he copied Fortnite. And then, my response was like, wow, imagine Fortnite copying Kanye West and Estelle. Couldn't be me, right? Yeah. So it's basically, instead of it's not called Chug Jug with you. It's called Random Third because, at the end it's like, you can be my random third instead of like Chug Jug with you. But that was my video. That I had a lot of fun with that one, and people like want me to do one every season now. It's kind of funny.
That's interesting. That's very cool. So I did come across something that I need to question you about, and this is serious. This is
okay.
This is probably the most serious question I'm going to have.
That's fine.
It's about the Spitfire. And here at the Grab My Banner podcast we have 4 people on the show, including myself, and we have kind of recently split into factions. It's actually really sad. It's tough to watch. We all used to be best friends. Now we fucking hate each other over this gun. And there's a faction of people called the Workhorses who use the Spitfire, but then there's a faction of people called the Dire Wolves that will not, because they refuse to use a gun that they say is overpowered, stupid, should not be in the game, should be nerfed to the ground. Now, here's my question though, Tony. I saw a video where you said the Spitfire was fine, and then I scrolled a few videos back, and then you said the Spitfire, you like insinuated that it was too strong. So I need to get your actual opinion here.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on with the Spitfire?
I'll tell you what is going on. And do you know who Brother Enoch is by any chance? Have you seen him?
I love Brother Enoch.
Brother Enoch made a video, and I was going to duet it, but I feel like it was too late already. But here's the reality of the Spitfire before I give my answer. 1, it is an LMG. We all know that. People that complain about the mag size, shut up. That's all I got to say. The Spitfire is one of the slowest TTK weapons. And yes, it does have low recoil. Yes, it has pretty good bullet damage to the body and stuff, but it's still a pretty slow rate of fire weapon. I am for the Spitfire. I believe it is, technically speaking, overpowered. I was watching the ALGS series, and TSM Hal, yes. TSM Hal dropped a fully kitted R301 for a fully kitted Spitfire. That's how bad he wanted to win. It is not cheap. People know if you want to win and you have the gun skills, you will destroy. But I understand where they're coming from when they say it's too easy. Because dude, he hit all his shots and team wiped 2 teams in the round 3 of the ALGS series on day, I think it was like day 2 or whatever it was. I made that a clip on TikTok, and I was like, you guys, this is exactly why people do hate it. But the people that are complaining about it, I'm sorry, you're not TSM Hal. You're not.
So you're kind of on both sides here. You're like, okay, it's not overpowered, but at the same time, you put it in the right hands with somebody who knows how to properly use it, it's going to be a little bit annoying.
Yes. And hopefully this doesn't piss you off or anybody in your group. But that's just how I feel. Like if you were good, you should have good enough mobility and game awareness that you can literally just shut down the Spitfire by your rotations, your movement patterns, your communications, and how you pick the fight. The only thing the Spitfire has on you is range and accuracy, and it's pretty much a defensive weapon. But after that, I've been crapped on where people push me well. If they're within like 20 meters, I'm done. I know it. I'm not going to beat them.
Yeah. So I'm actually a part. Well, It's hard to explain. I was forced to become a workhorse because the former workhorse president, our other host, he left. He vacated it. So I was forced to take it over. So at first I wasn't a workhorse, but I wasn't a dire wolf either. I was just chilling, doing my own thing. I was watching these guys argue. I have since had to step in as the president of the workhorses. So I've been using the Spitfire, and I actually have a very great answer that I think you would appreciate.
Yes,
the Spitfire, if you think it's overpowered in the arenas, you're bad at the game. Now, in the BR, it's a little bit different because if you're in the arenas and you know somebody's buying the Spitfire, it is so easy to bypass. And if you know, like you said, if you can move, if you're a better player, you can avoid it. 100% you can avoid it. But in the BR, it's a little bit more difficult because you really only get that one life. And like you said, it's defensive and it just kind of doesn't really have a whole lot of recoil after those first 3 or 4 shots. So somebody far away can kind of just roast you. And it does feel a little bit like a betrayal in that moment. But if you're saying the Spitfire is bad because you lose to it in the arena, I'm sorry to say you're bad. You're just bad.
Yes. There you go. I like how you said it.
So that's what it comes down to. But in the BR, it sucks a little bit. But like I said, there are ways around it. And like you said in the you brought up the ALGS. Now in the ALGS, the other thing that you have to consider, and I watch a lot of Imperial Hal, he has to worry about ammo because they don't like fight everybody. So he probably picked up the Spitfire knowing he could get a little bit more use out of that ammo. But if you just watch Predators play Predators, like just in normal ranks, they never use the Spitfire. Why? Because they know that it's not a high TTK weapon, like you mentioned earlier. So they're always using the higher TTK weapons like the R301, R99, and those weapons like Flatline. Weapons like that, they use those. So even the Predators, the ones who can use that gun the best, will still opt to use other guns when they're in ranked. That's what it comes down to. So workhorses for life.
Yes. And yeah, to backtrack on the whole TSM on Imperial Hal, he did drop the gun at when it was a top 4 situation. He switched it out for a flatline because they were getting a lot closer. He went flatline and Eve 8, and he smacked them. It was good.
That's the way it goes. I'm sorry. If you're not a workhorse out there, you're just not doing it right. You're just not doing it right. Workhorses for life. So I did have another question for you.
Yeah.
Because you are an Apex content creator. And what do you think about the state of the game as it stands right now? This question gets interesting between all the different creators because you have some people who are a little bit more positive, and then you have some people who are a little bit more pessimistic. How do you feel about the state of Apex right now?
I feel like it's in a great position. It is, I don't care what anybody says right now. It is my opinion, is the best BR game. I still float around from all the other ones from time to time. And I'm not being biased because I play Apex because that's where my content comes from. But with Apex Legends, what I enjoy are story games also. And when I play a character, it reminds me of all the lore and stuff that goes behind the game. And as a video game enthusiast, anybody that plays games, you have an appreciation for all that love that Respawn put into that game, from the story for every character to the build up for the future of the game, the fact that the Twitter listens to the community, like that stuff right there is mind blowing. The only time that Ravensoft or Call of Duty listen is when it's like a top tier creator, then they'll tweet and make a joke, like, oh, it's in the Tap Man or Nick, whatever. But in Fortnite, I don't even follow them on social media because their game died like after season 2 or whatever, or chapter 2, whatever you want to call it. But to me, like it's great gameplay wise. Arenas was in a step of the right direction. I've started feeling a little toxicity in it. But for me, I have to remind myself, and I think every person that is a creator, they do the same in their own way, whatever it is that they do. I don't like to take the game serious or competitively whatsoever. I stopped playing ranked last split because I didn't want to. It's like a job to me. I didn't want to come to work hating it. I don't care about ranked, and I have to remind myself I didn't get to where I was playing ranked. I got here because of my community, because I play with my viewers, and I want to make sure that stays strong. With them, we can talk about all the new stuff, clips, what's coming up with Apex. It's all good, man. Apex is in a great position right now.
You make such an interesting and great point when you said I stopped playing ranked. And here's the thing, like you get so stressed out trying to make sure that, especially when you're creating content for the game, that you're at least somewhat decent. But the truth of the matter is you don't have to play ranked to have fun with this game. And it really does, like you said, it really does make you kind of hate coming into work because it's such a toxic, not really the game and stuff, but playing ranked, losing a lot. It's toxic on you. You yourself are being toxic on yourself. So I love that you bring that up because last split, I did not play any ranked at all. I had been diamond 3 seasons in a row, and I decided I was just not going to play it. And I've never had more fun with this game. I have never had more fun with this game than when I stopped playing ranked. And that's such a great point.
It all comes full circle too. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It all comes full circle with like, especially like how I accepted myself in where I am as far as rank play goes is the same way I accept myself in when I make content. And I try to like connect these things to people that follow me or that want to make content or that want to play, is that I understand who I am and what a quote unquote my purpose is, what I feel like I bring to the table.
Well, before you go away, me and one of our other hosts are huge MMA fans. And when I found your second page, I was so excited to like talk to you about this before we round out the interview here. But your MMA page is just as big. It's almost the same. It's Tony Romero Boxing, I believe, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So go ahead and follow that if you're into MMA as well. But some of these things that I see you doing out there, you said at one point you were teaching kids MMA. Talk a little bit about that and how fun that's been for you.
Dude, kids MMA is where it's at for me. I think kids MMA and all the kids I've trained for the last 7 years is the reason why to this day I am successful as a content creator, is because I have the tolerance and patience to speak to the young audience that I know is coming into my stream. And I understand where they're coming from. I can relate to them. And I can say this with confidence. A lot of streamers can say they do, but trust me, I don't think you do like I do, where I can talk to them on a level on and off stream that makes them feel like the creator actually cares. The whole idea of like work ethic and stuff, everything I've learned from kids MMA and taking these kids to the top of the division, which by the way, I was ranked 3rd in the North American Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. It's a mouthful, but basically a North American tournament, which is very huge. I was 3rd place as a coach, as a blue belt, which means all the other coaches I went against were black belts. And I took 3rd place as a blue belt, taking my kids up. And I was pretty much honored that day by like a bunch of coaches, high levels, for basically leadership and taking 7 kids to go against 20, and for having these kids compete up to 2 or 3 times in 2 different brackets. It was huge, and that, like I said, that stuff is like the foundation of my work ethic and why I feel like I'm a successful creator now. And, kids, man, they're the future. So don't reject them, help them, kind of deal,
Exactly. Well, that's awesome, dude. That is so cool. Now I have one more MMA question because I get into this discussion all the time with our other co-host. He's saying John Jones would lose to Francis Ngannou. And I'm not saying that Francis Ngannou is bad at all. We obviously saw what he did to Stipe. We know what happened. We saw it. But
he slept him.
John Jones.
John Jones is winning.
It's
not even a discussion. It's not a discussion. No. If people are watching John Jones training clips right now, think of that light heavyweight speed at the heavyweight division. Not only is he not cutting weight, like if anybody's competed before, nothing's a more better feeling than knowing that you don't have to cut weight. He is coming in at 100%. Ngannou still has to cut weight. He's over 265, the cut. When he comes into the heavyweight division, he has to cut still. There's no way he's walking around on weight. That guy's a giant. Also, John Jones, or not John Jones, sorry, Francis Ngannou, no disrespect, man. Like, he did a great job against Stipe, but he almost got knocked out by Stipe in fight or flight mode still. Mm-hmm. Like, Stipe was walking backwards, doing the stanky leg, knees all gimp, and Ngannou was still getting clipped. And John Jones brings another talent that no other fighter has ever faced. I'm talking like, you got to worry about front kicks. You got to worry about calf kicks. You got to worry about his forward-leaning elbow that's just as long as a jab, I'm really passionate about this stuff, man. I can talk all day
Oh
about
yeah,
this stuff,
no,
dude.
we might have to get you back on so we can talk more about it, and I might have Troy come with us next time so we can
Dude,
all
I'm
talk
down.
about
Yeah,
it. But you're saying John Jones would win that, right?
I think John Jones would win in round 2. He's
Okay.
going to gas him out and pick him apart. I mean, depending on, I feel like a lot of this too, like I've noticed, depending on where the fight is going to be at, if it's in Vegas, it's going to go to the end. John Jones will get him at the end. If it's
Okay.
anywhere that's not home field, that's not home field, but you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
mecca of UFC, he's going to make it quick work. All these fighters
Okay.
hate traveling, bro. I'm
All
calling
right.
it. Round
I
2,
love
though,
it.
knockout. You hear it from me, man.
I love it. I love it. Well, Tony, thank you so much for hopping on the show. You guys need to follow this man on TikTok, on YouTube. You need to check out his stream. He's on Twitter. He's on Instagram. He is the epitome of a content creator. And Tony, thank you so much for hopping on. Do you want to promote anything real quick before we get off?
My other than that, you know, all my socials, my YouTube channel, I got stuff. I'm starting to pump things out there. Instagram, I respond to all my messages there, but pretty much, you know, my TikTok, that's where it's at, man. That's where it all started. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, no worries, man. We'll have all the social links in the at least the Twitter one in when we tweet it out tomorrow or whenever the episode is released. So you will be getting all that stuff, making sure you guys follow Tony Romero. Most of your handles are AYY_Tony Romero.
I
right?
believe they all are now. Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead, find him, check him out. His stuff is hilarious. If you love Grab My Banner, you're going to love Tony Romero. He is a rock star in the community right now. Over 100,000 followers in Apex content. You need to check that out. Tony, thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you, man.
All right, here we go. We got some big news. We got 2 things of big news. The first one, I mean, actually, both of them were pretty surprising. We had no idea that we were going to get that video today, but also just a day earlier, we got the news that Skulltown is coming back to Apex Legends in some capacity. We won't know until Thursday when the patch notes drop. That tweet comes from Ryan Rigney. He said that the patch notes will drop on Thursday. Boys, I'm so confused by this because I don't even know what it means when they say wait for the patch notes, because usually patch notes only come like on like an event we know about. This is very odd. This is very weird. We have no idea really what's coming to us. We have some ideas. It could be an arena map. It could be like a week-long event where they bring back the original Kings Canyon, but we really have no idea at all. But there's some sort of patch notes involved with this. We'll get to the patch notes part of it later because that could be changes to weapons and legends. But let's start off talking about Skulltown. Skulltown is one of our favorite places across the table in all of the maps. It's just one of those iconic places that holds a special place in every Apex Legends player heart. And it's coming back in some capacity. But there could be some drawbacks to it. Brian, how do you think this thing's going to come back, and are you excited to see it come back?
Do you want what I want, or do you want
Both. What you want and how you think it's coming.
Oh, I want it in the BR.
Mm-hmm.
I want it in the BR. I want it to be risen out of the ground, and I would love to have it back in the original form. That's not how we're getting it, boys. It's coming through arenas.
You think so?
I would put money that we are getting Skulltown through arenas. The only thing that makes me think that we might be getting Skulltown in the BR is the image that I saw online was of a distant shot of Skulltown. So if you're at Skulltown, what would the area would that be now? It'd be kind of like just about to enter the caves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The view was from right there, and you could see the outskirts and things like that around it, and you could see Thunderdome in the back a little bit, I think. So that gives me hope that we might be able to see it in the BR, even if it's for a limited time. We could see it in the BR, and that would be really nice. But I think that we're going to get it in arenas.
I think they tested it in the BR a while back. They brought it back for a little bit, and everybody landed there every time, and it was like everybody was dead within a couple minutes.
Well, they did that on the Kings Canyon at night.
Yeah, but like that
that-
was just a test thing, and it just like everybody murdered themselves there at the very beginning. So I mean, like I think that would change though if they brought it back and it stayed back, because I think if you just bring it back for a week, everybody's gonna land Skulltown.
Yeah, you go back to Skulltown for a week, everyone's going to land there, and then after about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, it starts to die out again. But really what's going to affect Skulltown, what makes it so popular is the loot pool there. Like, you can bring back Skulltown. It might not hit the same. The fights in there might feel very similar, but just the loot pool might not be substantial enough to basically hold there the whole game. If you do that, then I don't see an issue in Skulltown, because if you add a quarter of a map to a map, then you're still going to have more loot than you did before, and it's going to fix the problem, but you don't have to make it like Skulltown again, you know?
My issue with what you're saying, Kyle, is I would have agreed with you, and like a few seasons ago when we first started this show, we all knew that was the issue. That Skulltown was making it so difficult to drop anywhere else because the game would be over in, just a matter of time. But now they've blown up that back area. You've got, the Spotted Lake, you've got the crash site, and that still happens on Kings Canyon. That issue you were talking about, it still happens even with Skulltown gone. So I think why not embrace the fact that it's still happening? So bring back a place that holds a special place in all Apex Legends players' hearts. Because that's like, it already happens still.
And the idea is, if you bring back Skulltown and it's like that, well, then there's a shit ton of loot up in Spotted Lakes now, and that northern crash site area, that is just where everyone's going to die right now. Mm-hmm. Like, where are they going to go? Are they going to go to Skulltown? Are they going to go there? Are they going to go both? And then you have two big fight areas, and then you have the winner of each of those areas meet in the middle to really like duke it out. Like, that's kind of cool.
So the other thing I was thinking about was the fact that we have seen World's Edge be a part of the ALGS probably for the last since it started. World's Edge has been like the main map.
It's the main
and
one.
They've tried to bring in Olympus on a few. They tried to bring back all the Kings Canyon map, and all the pros hated it. I think even just from a ALGS perspective, you are having success with the ALGS. But like we know with everything, things can start to get stale if it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And they've been trying to fix ways that they can bring Olympus into the rotation. I definitely think they could find a way to bring Kings Canyon into the rotation as well, because you add in Skulltown, you add in Thunderdome, you add in the two little towns to the right and to the left. Now there's a lot more places for the pros to land, and if you add that on top of the Spotted Lake that's already back there, now you're giving the pros like a very good map to try and work around.
I think because you even have in the east, you even have places like Capacitor and things like that.
Well, and you also have Crypto's area to land at and all those.
There was a lot of places before that.
There's a lot of places where individual teams can land, loot, and be more than kitted for a fight. And Caustic's area in the south, and then in the far west, you've always had, what's that city over there? Runoff?
Runoff. You got Octane's place. You've got Raid's place.
Or not artillery.
Artillery's there still. Yeah.
Airbase.
You have
Airbase over there. Like, there's plenty of places to really be able to exploit in this map for loot, especially if you bring back Skulltown, Thunderdome, and that one city that was to the side of it. Mm-hmm. Those three places were back. I actually think Kings Canyon would not be too small for the current player base.
Can we answer this question at the table real quick? Is anybody opposed to having Skulltown back in the BR?
No, I would love to have Skulltown back in the BR. I actually think after a few weeks of it being back, I think it would play a lot better.
The entire map? The
entire map would just play better because you have more than one place that's like the hot drop to land. You have 2 hot drops, maybe even 3, And then, after that, you've got all the other places on the outskirts for people to play. So I think the loot pool gets drastically bigger, one. And then also on top of that, you just get like more areas to fight at. Like, I loved fighting at Skulltown. Like, I didn't always like landing there, but I liked fighting there.
Yeah, I think a lot of pros have said the exact same thing. Like, late game, it was very interesting to fight at.
Yeah, because there's lots of changes in height, and there's lots of like strategic angles, and it was so high that if you wanted to play low, you could play low and you wouldn't have a disadvantage, or you could play high and you wouldn't be at a disadvantage either.
I think for ALGS too, there was a lot of legends who weren't necessarily as good as they are now, and there was way less legends than there were when Skulltown was around. So for the ALGS, I feel like, early on Gibraltar was not a good legend. And so you could get really dominated by the height advantage that Skulltown offers compared to other maps. Well, now you've got a Gibraltar bubble. Now you've got a Valkyrie. Now you've got a
Jib Ult.
Now you've got a Jib Ult. You've got a lot of different things now that are really good that can maybe support having Skulltown back.
I'm so mad right now. I just realized I feel deprived as an Apex Legends player. As a once Horizon main.
Dude.
How do we not get to play on the original Skulltown when Horizon was fucking nuts?
Dude.
Dude. Listen, people used to play Pathfinder in Kings Canyon purely for the fact that when you had to take that fight in Skulltown, you had instant high ground no matter what it was. No one had high ground on you. You could take it from whatever range you were. That used to be Pathfinder's best thing, is he had high ground wherever he was. Horizon on original Skulltown would be fucking nuts, and I'm pissed that we did not get the opportunity to experience that.
There's so much. Now, Brian, I think if we took a pie chart and we said, is Brian's theory correct? I would say it's about 75% correct. But I brought up a theory to Kyle just because I was hoping with all of my heart that maybe we would get it in the BR.
That's wrong.
I know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's a theory. But
wrong.
Here's what I'm saying.
We're hopeful.
It's not a theory. It's wrong.
Now, the thing is, obviously it seems like they're going to bring it back for arenas. But 2 seasons ago, they brought back Kings Canyon in the middle of a season where Kings Canyon was not in the rotation. And they brought it back for a week with Mirage Voyage on there right before a giant collection event. Now, as we know Respawn likes to do, they have kind of changed their tune on how they did a lot of things when it comes to leaks, when it comes to new legends, when it comes to new weapons. We used to know the legend that was coming 100% before the season would start. Mm-hmm. But as we've learned from someone who leaks, Tobias, Shrugtool, all the leakers and all the data miners, they've made it to where it's very vague and it's very hard to figure out unless they say so directly. Like we learned with Valk. We thought it was going to be Ash for most of the season. And then all of a sudden, we see Valk in the video.
Yeah.
They have 4 legends running that it could possibly be at any point in time.
Which 4?
Well, at that point.
Oh, at that point.
Yeah, so we had no idea.
Yeah, now we're down to 3.
And now we're halfway through the season, and more than halfway, and we still don't really know who the legend is. I mean, we obviously think it's going to be Ash from this video. But that would be them showing us that it's Ash. So I think there could be a situation. Now, on the pie chart that I mentioned, it would probably be a small 10% that this ever happens. But they have done this before, where they bring back a map right before a collection event to get people hyped up, because mid-season, people start to venture off. It's not as, fresh and exciting as a late season or a new season.
Yeah.
And so they do that right before a big collection event. And so I'm thinking maybe they bring back original Kings Canyon for a week just to hype it up right before the big collection event that we think Revenant's heirloom is going to be in.
Yes.
I could see a situation where that's like they bring it back for a week, just the original map, and then we get the collection event, and then it goes away, and we lose it all forever, and we never see Skulltown until the arenas.
Also, there's huge talks about Revenant getting a huge buff. So, I mean, and his buff would be infinite climb. So imagine infinite climb on Skulltown would be insane.
Is that theory so crazy?
That they would bring it back for a limited time to cause hype, make people want to spend more money on the collection event, and then take it away from us until it comes in arena? No, it's EA. They're always down to make more money.
Yes.
It is.
But that being said, I still don't see it coming back to the BR. I don't see original Kings Canyon coming back, and I don't see original Capital City coming back. Mm-hmm.
They never brought that back even once. At least they've brought back original Kings Canyon. They've
in the
never
night mode. In the fucking night mode.
They've never brought back original World's Edge.
Kings Canyon at night is not the same as Kings Canyon, though.
No.
We can all agree on that.
No, not even.
And they don't even bring back the original Kings Canyon. They don't bring back the Kings Canyon with bridges and all those places.
No.
They bring back Kings Canyon version 2, which is the destroyed Kings Canyon.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about how we feel about it if it just comes back to arenas. Now, here's the thing. I know it sounds selfish to even complain about having a place that we've all loved and all wanted back for so long just in the arenas, but I'm going to complain. And I'm not going to feel bad, because this is like the Tilted Towers. This is the pinnacle. When people talk about Apex Legends, they first think of Skulltown, man. Like, that's what you think of. And it's been gone for 4 seasons now. Tilted Towers wasn't gone for that long. Like, it's been so long.
Tilted Towers was gone for 2, and then they brought it back.
But what I'm saying is, as much as it would be cool, I guess, to have it in the arenas, like it won't have that same feel for me. It's just gonna feel like an arena map. I don't know. How
Well,
do you guys feel about it?
How would I just really want to quickly throw this in there? How do you feel about them making like how they did with Tilted Towers, where they made a Tilted Towers 2.0? How do you feel about them making a Skulltown 2.0?
Well, that's what I think is the most realistic version, is
So-
them raising Skulltown from the depths.
Yeah.
And then rebuilding on top of it with their new infrastructure that they have coming up all over the map now.
Yeah, like the more like robotic
Like,
kind of theme that they got going.
Kind of
through
like
here.
how they did Capacitor, how they did Spotted Lakes, and all those kind of places.
Like not as rustic, more like new feel.
Yeah, I think that's the most realistic way we're going to get Skulltown back. Now, it would be awesome if they raised it out of the depths and it was just missing chunks of the current building, and they just used the same building and added on like the new yellow futuristic
Yellowish
buildings, like just to
blue
re-support it and hold it in place and try to rebuild it.
Yeah.
So it would have that different look, that different vibe. This is the rebuild.
Some parts
Skull.
of it, yeah.
Some parts are exactly the same. Some parts just have little fragments and pieces of it, and some are just entirely new. I think that'd be a really cool, like, here's to the old players, but we are moving forward.
You would still it would have to be like that. But either way, I think like it's so sad that we missed out on having all these different legends involved with Skulltown.
Bro.
There's like so many.
Dude,
Dude, it sucks.
Imagine Mirage's Bamboozles nowadays in Skulltown.
Imagine Volk. Imagine
Volk
Horizon.
would have been insane on Skulltown.
Imagine like even Fuse. Like
Dude, Rampart.
Rampart would be hilarious in Skulltown.
Oh my
Yes.
god, dude!
Rampart
I
would be hilarious.
You're sitting on top of the building. The one issue when you had the high ground was someone could get on top of the skull and rain down on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just put up that barrier there. Nobody's pushing those stairs, and you have cover from the side. Dude,
It would be
Good luck.
so fucking fun. It would be so fucking fun. And I just miss it so damn bad. But how do you guys we kind of skipped
Yeah,
over
we
it.
skipped
How would
over
you guys feel if it's just in arenas?
I wouldn't be mad at all. Listen, we still get Skulltown is back in the game. Skulltown in the game is better than not at all. I love it regardless. I think it's a great thing. And what better way to say, here's to all the players who want Skulltown back. We're going to give it to you. It's going to be for what? A week, 2 weeks at a time?
Yeah.
Probably a week.
I think it's 2 weeks. The rotation is 2 weeks.
It's
think
2
it's-
No, it's 2 weeks.
It's,
Yeah.
is it-
So you
it's
get 2 weeks of Skulltown currently it would be every 6 weeks.
Mhm.
You're going to get 2 weeks of Skulltown. Or no, it wouldn't be every 6 weeks. It'd be every like 12 weeks or something, depending on how many times they go through the rotation.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to stick to a 3-map rotation forever.
That's what I
think
mean.
they're
If they
gonna
go up to 6 maps in the rotation, we're looking at it once in every 12 weeks,
They would probably switch it
which
to
is it'd probably go weekly after
it
that.
would go weekly after.
But even then, once in every 6 weeks, like when Skulltown comes around, and they could do this with the capital city as well, and they could offset them. When those 2 maps come around, they'll see spikes in their numbers. It's going to make people want to come back to the game because, like, oh, I can play the fun map now. I can go. How awesome would that be to be like, dude, you hop on, you didn't realize it was coming, and then you find out, dude, I could play fucking Skulltown for a week. I can play Cap City for a week, and I'm including Cap City because it has the closest field, original Cap City, the closest field to what Skulltown does now.
you want
That's-
to talk about spikes in your numbers, you bring it back forever.
No, you bring it back forever, and it gets old after a few weeks, just like Kyle was mentioning. That newness, that fades away. But if you keep it on rotation, that newness, every time it hits, it's like a whole nother thing. Oh, dude, we got to play as much as we can right now because we won't get it for this long.
It's just like Taco Bell when they take
Exactly.
something away and then they bring something back.
Exactly. The
Same
fucking
thing.
beefy crunch burrito,
Beefy
bro.
crunch burrito, dog.
I
It's
think people
give and
tie.
take.
I think people tie Thunderdome with Skulltown a lot, and if you're just getting Skulltown, I feel like you're going to be missing like a huge
I think.
chunk.
Well, I think that Thunderdome needs to make its way into it as well. I think that Skulltown, the places in my mind that have to become an arena map at some point or another, Skulltown, Thunderdome, Cap City.
All right,
Yeah.
Kyle, feelings on if it's just an arena map.
So if it's just an arena map, I don't feel like it's like a terrible loss or anything like that. I feel like it's still a win because we still get to play the map, and like we said, we haven't played the map in 4 seasons. So getting just to be able to play Skulltown again, being able to enjoy those fights, being able to feel that energy, and being able to play with characters that we didn't get to play with when Skulltown was actually around could bring a lot of fun to the game. It's just I feel like we would be missing a lot from not having it in the BR.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not a loss if we have it in just arenas.
I mean, it's not really a loss, but it's like it's a what could have been if you could bring it back, especially with these new legends, especially with that back part of Kings Canyon blown up, and we've got all those cool places over there. It's like you're finding yourself wondering, like, dude, this map could be really good again, really good.
I think that the most realistic chance that we're going to get is Skulltown and arenas. And if we want the BR to change, and we hope that the BR does change for Kings Canyon, we see Skulltown be risen and rebuilt with the surrounding cities as part of that. I think that's the most realistic is here's the new version, we're moving forward with this, but for those of you who really want to play the old version, here's the old one as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're coming at the same time, and I think that arenas is coming soon.
I think maybe it's something to get us hyped though, because like, what if they don't bring back Skulltown like as its whole? What if they bring back like Skulltown 2.0 and they just put it in arenas at first as like a hype thing, and then it's like next season it's going to be Kings Canyon, but this Skulltown's going to be in it.
And that would fit for like if they, when I say they raise it out, like it's in fragments. It's a busted building, and then that's a rebuild on top of that. That would make sense because then they would have familiar parts for the old. Or for the new players, it would get the new players familiar with the old parts, and the old players would be able to have nostalgia.
Yeah.
That nostalgia feeling of still a little bit of old Skulltown in the new one. I think that is the most realistic way that we get Skulltown back, is it comes to arenas now, the new players in the community get used to it, understand the map, and get to play it a shit ton and fall in love with it, and then all of a sudden, this place that everybody in the game loves is risen from the bottom of the depths.
Well, I think if you're going to make it an arena map only, you don't do that. You don't make it like a thing.
But if it's a hype.
Yeah, if it comes back in the actual game, then that's all right. But like even that, I would think to myself a little bit like, if you're going to bring back Skulltown and arenas, why would you not just do it like it was? You know,
well, that's what I'm saying. Bring it in arenas like it was.
And then have
it be risen from the depths.
That would make sense.
That's what
to build hype for it. Yeah.
It's like bring it back in fragments and then have it be rebuilt in the BR itself. So it's like you tell the player base, this is Skulltown 2.0. We're moving forward with Skulltown. We understand that we need more loot in the game, more space to run, all that kind of stuff. It's coming back, but if you want to play the old one and you still want to get hyped every 6 fucking weeks, go ahead. It's going to be in the BR now. Stop bitching about it.
Yeah,
I feel like they're getting so tired of that in their ears.
I just really don't think that like it builds hype after the first like 2 cycles. Once it's in arenas.
Yeah, but it depends how quickly you bring in the BR version of it.
And it also
if you bring the BR in that,
I'm assuming they're not bringing it to BR.
Well, and then also I'm telling
you,
they
have to do something with that space.
Yeah, if they're gonna ever make it like a professional map, yeah, you're gonna have to do something.
It's dead space that can clearly be used. They need to do something with it.
I feel that 100%, but I also feel like Skulltown as a arena map definitely could be one of the more competitive ones.
I think that arguably, I would say Skulltown might be the best arena map there is, and the best arena map option there is in the entire game. I think that because what's the one thing everyone loves to do in Skulltown? Fight. They hate having to loot. They hate having to do that. They want to go in with the kit that they want. And they want to show that we are better than the other team, and that's exactly what arenas is all about.
Yeah, you got the windows on. Like you can't just sit on a door in Skulltown.
No.
Like there's so many ways to enter every single building.
You have to outplay the other team. There's no way around it.
Plus, it depends on how big they make the map. Because if it's the whole entire big a big plus sign that they have with like the buildings, if it's that whole entire fucking thing, like. It has to be a huge map.
Yeah, but then you have the circles. You have to do it like that.
That's a big arena
and
map, though.
Especially if they leave it like Kyle, like you said, the plus. But if they make it squared off and they have the open areas in it, like if you get caught with a bad circle and have to make it through that open area, like that's fucking huge. You better have some high mobility, or you better have some like
a fucking raid.
Serious cover.
Yeah. There's no way that they don't make it the whole thing. If they don't do that, then they really fucked up.
Now the question is, do they include the skull?
To get on top of it, I think they include the skull, but not the ability to get on it.
So like you can't grapple yourself onto it or whatever.
Well, maybe you can
Maybe-
grapple,
maybe-
but not like the
I think they put
path,
the-
because the path to get up there, you had to climb from like Thunderdome.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think he's right. I think
you're right. You don't put like the easy walkway in.
Yeah, but you
Like
maybe
but you can
like,
get
touch
Pathfinder
it.
zip line and get up there, or you
Maybe
can do something like
Volk or
that,
something.
or maybe like
Yeah.
if there is a limitation on it, they put the timer.
Well, it's really not that big of a thing anyway, because think about it. If you're playing it only in arenas, you use Volk's ult, which first of all costs you some points. So you're gonna have to get in there, use that ult, and you're just standing up there. You're really not doing any. There's so many buildings in cover.
Path might be the best legend.
Yeah,
for that.
There's so many buildings in cover that I don't really think it gives you that much of an advantage unless it's like specifically on it.
If you're a solo Pathfinder and you're able to grapple up and the other team can't get to you and you have more heals, that's the only time where I think that it gives you a significant advantage in that, because they can't follow you and you just get to sit up there and try to out heal them.
There's so many legends though that can like. Back in the day, Pathfinder was the only one that could get up top.
Oh yeah, that's
really
why.
quick.
That's why I'm pissed. I didn't get to fucking play Horizon in that bitch.
Even Octane, when he came out, he sucked so bad.
Oh, Octane
that there was
so
no
bad.
reason to even use him. So now, good Octane in Skulltown,
good Octane in
good
Skulltown.
Bloodhound in Skulltown.
Oh, yeah.
You're not hiding from fucking nobody in Skulltown with a good Bloodhound.
Oh no,
there's no way. There's no way. Like, this is why I think it would be fine if they brought it back in its original capacity in the map. Like, there's so many legends and so many new things that people can do.
I don't agree with it coming back too full like it was. The nerf to Skulltown itself needs to be the loot.
Maybe like the loot pool.
They need to dumb down the loot pool, because if you lower, even the map section is absolutely amazing for gameplay and fighting and everything. That's fine. They need to program the circle so it closes more often on Skulltown. Not all the time, but more often. But they need to drop the loot pool in there so there's not enough to support the entire fucking lobby in there, so they don't all die at once.
Yeah, but
force them to spread out a little bit.
I think, like Kyle said, though, like it only gets so congested because it's been gone for so long.
Yeah,
that you get to go
after
back
a couple weeks, like it'll wear off.
Especially if you're going for rank.
Yeah,
like if you're playing ranked on Kings Canyon, you're like, fuck no, I'm not landing there.
If you're playing ranked in Kings Canyon, you just land away, let everyone else fucking die, and you get your rank.
Yeah, and then if you're playing ALGS, you're like, fuck no, like I'm not going there.
I'm definitely not going to.
Definitely not touching that.
Who's landing there? TSM? No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll wait till they got 50 points.
I'll wait. All right. Well, I'm saying something big is coming on Thursday. I know we're all excited for it. Either way, Skulltown is coming back in some way, shape, or form, some capacity. What do you guys think about Skulltown? Are you cool with it in arenas, or do you want to see it back in the BR? Send us a DM, talk to us, let us know on Twitter. We're always on there saying some shit. We're going to head into the gambling segment of the show, and we will see you guys on the other side. All right, gambling time. A new season hath begun. And we have our first week of results from this week's gambling season, and it was an interesting week. And for quite possibly the first time ever, it looks like Kyle is at the top.
Spite bet week 1, baby. Let's go.
So Kyle is doing well. He's sitting at the top. He's got 280 bones all to himself. Not far behind are me and Brian, both at 220.
Who's higher on the list?
Well, you
alphabetical.
Alphabetically
by first name. We said last week.
Alphabetically, yours is higher, but we also did alphabetically by last name, and I won't say the letters, but mine is definitely higher than yours.
But we errated that, and we said that this is the correct way to do it.
If we were in the military, would they put my last name first, or would they put your last name first? I'm just
they measure by dick size.
This isn't a military.
They measure by dick size, and you would be in the back of the line.
Okay. Because mine's bigger, so they'd put the smaller ones up front.
No.
You let me do that. Like, why'd you let me do that?
You lined up for it.
You let me do it.
You fucking.
Yeah, because
you teed it up.
They want the guys that are waiting longer to have something to lean on.
Yeah, I definitely gave you that. That was a layup for you. I fucked that up.
I'll give it to you, Brian. I'll give it to you. Brian sitting there with 220. I'm below that with 220 as well. And then Troy is in the basement at 115.
Yeah, whatever. It's OG Club Bone vibes.
OG Club Bone.
OG coming.
Troy's gift of the All-Father bet ended in a push, which might even be worse than a loss.
And the gift of the All-Father, that's pretty bad.
And it was
Like,
such an unlikely line.
It's like
too.
the biggest blue balls of all time
It
is
is.
a push.
Yeah,
like,
it
it
is.
sucks. You'd rather just have, like,
You'd rather just lose it all.
Like, if we're taking in terms of, like, you're hanging out with the chick, you'd rather her just be like, no, I fucking think you're disgusting. Be like, oh, okay, fair enough. I'll just go home. But, like, when you push, it's like you were so close, and then they just blue ball the hell out of
I
you.
agree.
It's like you were
I
so
agree.
close, and then she gets a phone call from her father to come home. Like,
Yeah,
that's...
it's like,
Waste. I could have been watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Now I'm in pain.
Exactly. So this week's going to be an interesting one. I got a few bets on the table. I know everybody's. We spent. This was probably the longest time where we actually like sat there and looked at the board. I got to say, this week's board, I'm not seeing it very clearly. This is a tough board.
This is
I don't
a
like
hard
this
one, bro. Like,
there's not one clear, at least in my mind, there's not one clear like lock.
no.
Like I wouldn't put anything on any of these. What do you have?
I think there's one, but I'll let you read the lines before we get to it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Lines for this week. Me, total kills at 47 with halves at 24. Total assists at 18, halves at 9. Total knocks at 58, halves at 29. Total rounds won at 32, halves at 16. Total rounds played, 59, halves at 30. Total wins, 6.5, halves at 4. And perfect games, 3.5, halves at 2. We move on to Kyle. Actually, looking at that, I can't bet on it, but the total wins at 6.5 under might be not total. Halves at 4 wins and a half. That might be a good under to take on myself. That's a lot of wins and a half.
You can't take an under on yourself.
I know that's what I'm saying, but for everybody on the table, like,
So you'd have to get 5 wins. But I feel like it's more likely for a push.
yeah, you get a push on it.
I feel like that's a push one.
That is. Moving on to Kyle, total kills at 42, halves at 21, total assists at 22, halves at 11, total knocks at 48, halves at 44, total rounds won at 31, halves at 16, total rounds played at 59, halves at 30, total wins at 5.5, halves at 3.5, and perfect games 3, halves at 1.5. Brian, I think you made a mistake here.
No.
Knocks, the halves at 44, even though the total line is 48.
Oh, that's supposed to be 24. You
24.
are correct.
Okay, it's
You are
24.
correct. Go ahead and adjust
I was
that
going to
for
say
me.
because that is a lock. Kyle's not getting 44
No.
knocks and a half.
No.
All right, that's at 24. Okay, moving on to Troy. Total kills at 20, halves at 10. Total assists at 14, halves at 7. Total knocks at 24, halves at 12. Total rounds won at 28, halves at 14. Total rounds played at 50, halves at 25. Total wins at 5, halves at 2.5. And total perfect games at 4, halves at 2. Maybe on the perfect games. Maybe an over on the wins. 5? 5
That's
wins?
I think
over-
he's going to get
that-
5
that's-
wins.
You have to bet that he's going to get over 50% win rate.
These are off of his 2 weeks ago stats.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's off of his stats because Troy made his decision to play on Kyle's PC, which means he played Kyle's SBMM and he decided to try out mouse and keyboard for his games. So his lines this week, I will let you know he missed all of them.
It doesn't
But
look
it's the
like
one
Very
time.
badly.
It's the one time I'm not going to roast him for it because he ventured out. He
I
tried
did.
a much higher skill level, and he also tried a whole new way of playing. So
Everything
I'm not
was
going to
different.
bash him on that.
I tried different characters. I tried playing Lifeline. If you wanted to know how many resurrections I was able to execute with Lifeline, the answer to that is 0. So, not cut out for that.
Okay. Well,
I
we
know
learn.
that now.
We learn every day.
Yeah.
I actually had a guy who I'm not actually repping the Workhorse brand anymore, but because I was trying to figure things out, everything was new. I was sticking to the Spitfire a lot of the time because it's the easiest gun to use in my opinion. And so I literally had a guy, I ran out in front of everybody, got killed immediately. My other teammate also got killed immediately. He sent in a text message like on the game
In the chat.
yeah, he said "fuck you" for using the Spitfire and killed himself. And then the next round, a similar thing happened, and he wrote in the chat "fuck you for being a Lifeline," and then killed himself. So,
That guy just hates things. Brian, total kills at 25, halves at 13, total assists at 24, halves at 12, total knocks at 32, halves at 16, total rounds won at 28, halves at 14, total rounds played at 53, halves at 26, total wins at 6.5, halves at 4, and total perfect games, halves at 3.5, or total 3.5 halves at 2. I just saw another one that I kind of like. Did I already write that, though? Oh, I did. I like myself. My brain is just on par with itself. I forgot I wrote it, but I did.
Jump down on
I'm
it.
actually going to make that the gift of the all.
Jump down on it.
Jump down on it.
So there is a lock on this card.
What do you think it is?
It's my bet. It's I bet 115 bones.
Okay.
Out of my 220 over on Troy's round 1.
Troy's rounds 1.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Troy?
I think that's good. I think it's a good bet.
Is
Yeah.
it 28?
It's not. I mean, I don't think it's a lock, but I think it's a good bet.
No mixed feelings about that whatsoever.
No.
115.
No. It's fine, dude.
No,
It's fine.
nothing.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to trip
You don't
on
care?
it. Listen, you got to play your game. I'm not getting sucked in to this bullshit.
Troy,
Okay.
you were gone.
Do me a favor.
for
Read what that says.
BS. What is that? Is that a word?
Yeah, it says it's a BS card. That was trying to just one up you on your bet one more time. I walked over to your paper and checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Wow. Way to be a bitch.
What a
not take
flop.
the bait.
I'm not
yeah.
taking that.
What a
dude.
flop.
I'm
Yeah.
not taking
So that's not my.
You
card.
can't. You
I
can't.
do it.
You can't trigger me anymore, Brian. Listen, I told you, I am not walking away from this season.
You heard it here.
being a bunch of fucking spite bets and losing again. Okay,
Listen,
I'm getting the
you-
quad.
Spite bet week, baby.
I'm gonna
Quad.
be the first
Listen.
to the quad.
Listen, first to the quad. He's only the 2-time right now. What are you gonna
What
do?
the fuck? I'm not the 2-time. I'm the 3-time.
When'd you get your third?
We both have.
Oh,
3.
yeah. When did he get his
When'd you get
third?
your third?
Dude, you guys, listen. You are so
I remember Kyle
dedicated.
losing.
You are so
Pretty
dedicated.
negative that time.
You're so dedicated to getting
What
a
was
rise
it?
out of
Negative
me.
420?
No. Oh my god.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Oh, man.
No.
What a season
Listen,
that was.
OG Club Bone vibes. You cannot get to me. I'm over here posted.
Kyle, have you ever walked into the GMB credit union since?
No, I haven't.
No?
But
No.
one time
Close.
I did get negative 420, and it was pretty lit.
Yeah,
That was
I would.
hilarious.
I'd never go back to that place either. Troy, what do you think?
About his credit.
Yeah,
It's not good.
It's not. Yeah. I mean,
not
I'm well known there.
listen. You could learn a thing or two from Abe Lincoln.
Could I?
Yeah, you could.
Is it how to rock a beard without a mustache?
We could all learn that. But Abe Lincoln had a business, and his business went under. And then instead of like jetting town because they didn't have the internet or like helicopters, he stayed in town and paid off his debt. So
Yeah, I
What
don't
a
think
guy.
that
Yeah.
sounded real.
Well, Kyle put all of his money in Bannercoin now. So
It's all, it's all in
he's fine.
Bannercoin.
He's never
I'm
going to
living in a
again.
box.
you lighten the load too, getting rid of those kids.
Yeah. Don't have to deal with them.
you don't got them.
Oh gosh!
All
right after
right.
Father's Day.
So, Brian, are you going to actually read your card, or do you
Yeah,
want...
no,
do you-
I'll
okay.
read my card. So for starters, I had 40 bones under on Kyle's total assist line. I feel like that's always a safe bet to bet under on Kyle's assist.
22?
Yeah, 40 bones on that under.
Okay.
You're selfish, Kyle. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 bones over on Kyle's second half perfect games.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
Is it 3 that I have to get or 2?
1.5.
It's a 1.5, so you have to get 2.
That's a good bet, actually.
Yeah.
That's a solid bet.
I have 40 bones on that. I have 40 bones under on Wyatt's second half wins.
Okay.
Did I circle that right? Hold on. What's your win line? I feel like I didn't.
4.
Oh, yeah, no, I did circle that right. Yeah. You ain't getting 4 fucking wins.
Okay.
You're doing it under?
Pretty sure that was supposed to be first half, though. But, yeah, change that first half.
Okay.
So I have 40 bones under on Wyatt's first half wins.
Okay.
And then for my gift of the Allfather and using the rest of my bones, all 100 of them, I have 100 bones under on Troy's perfect games.
Okay. So you still think that's the lock?
That's still my lock. It paid me out last week. It will pay me out again.
Okay. All right. All right. I will go next.
What do you
And
think is the lock?
I don't really have one, and honestly, I bet big amounts because I already have some, but I didn't really put any big, gigantic one. Because none of these really stand out to me that well, and I wouldn't be surprised if I come back next week and I lost all of these. But I don't really see anything that stands out that well to me. I think I can win a few, but here we go. I'm going to start off going under on Troy's knocks, total knocks for 30.
Are you fucking serious?
I just think
Look
that's
at me
a
in the
lot
eyes.
of
Why are you
knocks.
looking at your paper right now?
It's just a lot of knocks.
No, dude, are you fucking serious right
Yeah.
now?
That's a lot of knocks.
Dude,
Look at this.
How many is it?
24.
No, dude, it's not. No, dude, seriously?
24.
No, dude, seriously?
24 knocks?
And Troy
In the
thought we
first
weren't going to
half?
get a rise out of him.
No, listen, this is not about you guys. This is about me and this is about you and me right now. Are you serious right now?
Yeah. You think you're going to get 24 knocks?
I want you to just do the math. How many games are we playing?
12.
So how many knocks to get 24 would I have to get per game?
2.
You really think I can't get 2? I don't even have to kill them. I just have to. I can't put 2 people on the ground per game. Are you serious?
Troy,
Per game? Per full game?
It's kind of hard when you're getting 3-0.
Now, listen, this isn't about you, Brian. This is about me and Wyatt right now.
And
all right?
there's
Let me have. Can we please just? We're sitting across from each other. Let's just have this moment for a second. Are
Okay.
you serious, dude?
How often do you get 3-0'd? Honest question.
Dude, the week before this week. Okay, this
Yeah.
week was
Can
an
I-
outlier. All right, let's throw this week out.
Yeah.
The week before, all right, I had the most wins at the table. I had the most perfect games at the table.
Okay.
All right, I was thriving at my own SBMM with my own controls. I learned a lot this week from Coach Kyle. I only wore one side of my headphones so I could listen to him. I'm going to be considering cover a lot more. So, even if our team can't pull out the wins, I'm going to get more knocks than ever this week.
Okay, then I will. You've convinced me to switch it to an over.
Thank you.
But if I lose this bet next week, fuck you.
No, fuck you, dude.
He's roasting you for sure.
All right, so I'll go over on Troy's knocks at 24. I also have the Troy perfect game underline, but I only put 10 on it this week because, like he said, he's going to be back in his own spot. I still think that's a lot for anybody at the table to get 4 perfect games. So I still went under on it, but I just put a tiny amount. I'm not willing to fully commit myself to that.
and that's the total perfect games, correct?
Yeah, total.
My SBMM is very binary. It's either way too difficult or it's way too easy because I'm in a pool of people that generally suck, but some people find themselves in there because maybe they just don't play arenas all that often or maybe they're Smurfs.
Yeah.
You never know. But I usually either get stomped or I stomp the other team when I'm playing on my own account without playing with one of you guys. So, the perfect games are a real wild card.
Okay. Yeah, so that one's tough. That's why I'm not really ready to commit to it fully. Then I've got an under on Brian's first half wins for 30. It's a lot. It's a lot of wins in the first half. 4 out of 6 games. I don't know. That seems like a lot to me.
He had 7 this week though.
Yeah. I'm not saying he can't do it. Like I said, this week the board, I'm just not really seeing it right now.
It's a good bet.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing it. I have Kyle's wins over at 30 bones as well. If I'm playing with Kyle, even if I don't, I think he could definitely get more than 6 wins. I think that's perfectly doable for Kyle. And then my gift of the Allfather bet, 50 bones on Brian's knocks under. Brian's got 32 knocks this week to get. It's a good amount of knocks. So I'm thinking
He gets a lot of knocks though, I think.
I get more knocks by the largest margin than I do kills than anyone at the table.
Well,
But
what I'm saying is, if you're an assist guy, we know that you get a lot of assists, and so in my mind, in my thinking, I'm going, okay, well the knocks, he's not getting the knocks, but he will get the assists. You know what I'm saying?
that's the thing. I get a lot of knocks and assists. I'll knock somebody, and my teammate they'll get lifeline rezzed or some bullshit, and then I'll put bullets into them again, and by that point is when I go down. Is once I've fought them twice.
Yeah.
And then my teammates finish it off. So I normally do get both from it.
Or he knocks him and then gets killed. You
Yeah.
know?
And then the squad just can't follow up on it. That happens. Kyle
Okay.
will vouch for that.
I think
Yes.
I'm so easily swayed on this week's
But,
card, dude. 'Cause,
how many bones did you bet on Kyle's total?
30.
wins? 30?
and then I had 50 on yours. I'm gonna switch it. You convinced me too. I'm gonna let both of you guys sway me on this, and I'm gonna go
you sure about that?
instead of.
Because it was a good line.
No, I know.
It was a
but
good bet.
honestly, like
Brian's going against you. I don't know. Now I'm thinking it's not
No,
a good bet.
because
Now I'm thinking it's the opposite. It's a good bet.
the
I mean,
more I'm looking
I'm trying to get in your
I
head.
only got 30 last week.
the more that I'm looking at the assist line makes a lot of sense too, because it's only 24.
My lines were all lower this past week, so I mean, it's up to you.
No, I'll just leave it. I'll go Knox under 50 bones.
Yeah.
Gift
Good
to
luck.
the All-Father.
Good bet. Good bet.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Fucking with him. He has no idea. He has
This
zero
card, dude.
confidence right now.
This
Alright.
card,
it's
I don't
great.
like this
Is that
card.
your? Is that your?
That's
whole-
it, yeah,
Okay.
that's
All right.
all.
I'm gonna go next because I can't wait to hear the train wreck that is Kyle's second card.
Oh yeah.
Listen, you used up all your luck for the season the very first week. This is gonna be
Hell
fantastic.
no, baby.
This
We're
is-
riding the
it's
train the second
fucking
week, baby.
fall. It is the fall of man
It's
from the
the
first
second
week
week.
in first pole position all the way down to the bottom. I can't wait to watch it happen.
It's
in
gonna
real
be
time.
insane. We're either going to the moon this week or we're going dead bottom, baby.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're going bottom.
You're going bottom. Yeah.
I ain't no bottom bitch.
You're on that fucking chair covered in fireworks in Kung Fu Panda, and you think you're gonna go to the moon. All right, so my bets are super easy. I'm in last, and in big part to the way that Brian designed the cards last week.
or
but-
you just didn't bet
But
big like you normally do.
but I am going to do my best to try to get back on top. I'm betting 113 of 115 of my bones on my own Knox over. And then I'm going to bet one bone on Brian's kills under and one bone on Brian's perfect games.
Spy
under.
bet.
They're not spite bets, all right? I'm just filling space. It just came automatic when I was like, man, what am I going to do with my other two throwaway bets? I mean, it's just
Well, it's one bone, one bone.
it's just one bone.
Yeah.
It's just one.
Listen, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to your lines. I'm not opposed to your bets.
All right. Before I start my bets, I just want to say, Troy, this first bet is not a spike bet. It's just a bet
mean,
that I really don't think you're going to get.
Anytime you have to preface with that, it's a spike bet.
50 bones on Troy's perfect games under because I'm sorry, brother. I just don't think you're going to get it. This next one, though? No. This next, because I have a perfect one for my gift, the all the best. My very next one is a spite bet. 50 bones on Brian's first half wins under because there's no fucking way in hell he's getting those.
Yeah.
Okay. And my last bet is 180 bones on my wins over, and that's my gift to the All-Father.
I mean, that's such a solid bet.
Listen, I put the team on my back. If I lose it this week, I lose it this week.
Listen.
But if I win it this week, I'm going to be in first place by such a large margin. I'll be all right.
There's no way he gets under 6 wins. There's just no way.
Does he push at 6?
No,
I mean, he
it's a
could push.
6.5. Oh, no, it's 6.9.
No. Yeah, it's a 5.5.
It's a
Yeah.
5.5, so I just have to get 6.
Yep.
I just got to
No
get
way.
6.
Yeah, there's no way. I had money on
You know
that
what?
as well.
Kyle, I'm not opposed to your lines. I'm not opposed to your bets that you placed on these lines. That's actually a smart bet. I think that you can do it.
All right.
Fuck
Why?
you.
Look, stop looking like that.
He looked at me like, oh, yeah, you could definitely do that. Oh, he's definitely not going to get it this week.
Damn.
What do you mean, dude? Like, I literally just said
Oh,
you
yeah,
bet
you're-
good on the lines that
You're like
I
my
said.
most supportive friend here.
You
Oh,
bet,
my
you bet
gosh.
good on the lines that I said. That's all I can say.
Well,
Why?
the
You did
victory-
too.
The victory lap Kyle will have if he actually wins a season is going to just be immaculate.
Dude, it's gonna be awesome.
He
I'm
might
gonna put my
pound like 3 shots live, and he wins.
It's going to be another solo cup full of Jack.
I'll have to
no.
go and kill Kenny it up.
Oh, good God. All right, boys. Well, that was an awesome episode. Once again, shout out to Tony Romero for hopping on
Thank
the
you,
pod.
Tony.
Big
Thank you,
shout out to the
Tony.
boy. Can't wait to get to episode 42 next week. We have a nice little interview lined up, and I'm so excited for it. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Don't forget to use code BANNER Raise Energy Boys. We will see you guys, boys and girls. We will see you guys next week.
See you.
ya.